Hey guys, it's Mikey Millions here. This is actually my second attempt to make this video because the first time I looked at the camera, did the whole recording, but forgot to turn on my audio. So, we're going to try this again. What I want to do in this video is respond to InTheMoney Adam. He made a video about 2 weeks ago talking about his point of view on why a lot of people are struggling to find their side hustle's groove to get out of that 9 to 5. Everybody wants to build a side hustle that can support them so that they can live a life more freely without having to go into work every day. Not a lot of people are able to succeed at it. And he wanted to share his thoughts and offer some words of encouragement. The whole point of his video was to demonstrate how you don't have to be the best at anything in order to be successful. You just have to find out what you're good at, find a talent, and then bring it to the table in a new and exciting way that makes people want to see what you have to say. And to back up his claim that you don't have to be the best, he gave a bunch of examples about how in his own personal life, especially academically, he wasn't the best student. He took the easy way out of a lot of things. He's not somebody that a professor would have looked at and said that this guy is the future. Meanwhile, he's gone off and he's built a very successful YouTube channel. He's got like 350,000 followers. He's kicking my butt. So he's obviously found success. And I think he made a lot of good points. I agree with him. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be phenomenal, a prodigy at anything in order to be successful at it. But he left an area open. He said, you have to find what you're good at, find your talent, and then bring it to the stage in a new way so that you can develop your niche. He said, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying I know how you're going to be able to do that, but that's what you need to go about doing. Now, I want to help fill that gap. I want to talk about my experience and how I found something that I am good enough at that I can bring to the table. And maybe that'll help other people find out what they're good at. So by the middle of 2018, I had already suffered a series of business failures. It was starting to get very stressful. My first attempt to create a side hustle was probably about 2009 when I was first getting to college. Two of my roommates were talking to each other, and then one of them said he was having a really hard time with his girlfriend. He didn't really like her anymore, but didn't want to hurt her or her family by breaking up. So he decided to go on Craigslist and try to find a discreet relationship that he could have on the side. And I'm like, all right, tell me more. He said the girl that he went to go meet ended up being a guy, and the guy wanted to blackmail him. Said, hey, if you don't give me money, unspecified amount of money, then I'm going to tell your girlfriend about this. I'm going to tell your girlfriend's family about this. I'm going to tell your grandma about this. And I was like, well, did you pay? And he said, no, I just broke up with my girlfriend after all. I was like, all right, that was probably a good choice. But as him and my other roommate were going back and forth with each other, all I heard the whole time was, all right, in order to get some extra money, I need to catfish dudes on the internet and then blackmail them. Now, as you might imagine, that didn't really go according to plan. I wasn't very good at it, and the whole time I felt like this is stupid. I'm either going to get shot. I didn't feel good about what I was doing, and it's a good thing I didn't actually get to the point where I was blackmailing anybody, because it's actually extortion if you take money in exchange for not doing something. Fortunately, we never got there. In summary, I ended up with a total of $0 profit from that business adventure, and I got a lot of pictures that I'd rather have not seen. My second attempt to build a side hustle. A couple years later, I wanted to get into drop shipping, so I was going to buy products on one site and immediately ship them off to another one. If I could get my kung fu real strong, I'd be able to just enter the other person's address on the initial site and just send it straight to them, drop shipping. I ended up not being very good at that either. I couldn't sell soap as easily as I planned to. I was trying to drop ship custom soap. I ended up losing money on that because some of the services I subscribed to cost more than the money I made. So that was a complete failure. A year later, I made my first attempt at creating a Kamikaze Cash channel. I didn't have any software, I didn't have any equipment, I just knew I wanted to talk about something. So I went online, downloaded the first free recorder I could find, started recording my screen with an out-of-sync webcam, and that didn't work well either. I ended up getting some followers out of that, I got some subscribers, maybe 50, but I think a lot of them were bots. I also tried making a Kamikaze Cash website, spent some money on that, had no organic users, and it was just bots talking to each other. A lot of them were trying to sell like protein supplements to one another. It was kind of entertaining to watch bots advertise to each other, but I didn't make any money there either. And then next attempt, a few months later, I tried to make a Donald Trump meme page on Facebook. I figured I would be able to sell some swag, make some dank memes, and ship off t-shirts and hats and stuff like that to people who were willing to pay. But by the time I even finished uploading all my memes, I got delisted from Facebook. I literally got canceled by Facebook within an hour of starting this project. So that was also a complete failure. And the last straw for me was when I got into BitConnect. For a little while, it felt really cool. I had a feeling that it was a little funky the whole time. It was promising me I'd be a billionaire in 10 years, basically. So I never put a lot of money into it, but it was a 4-figure sum, and we all remember how that turned out. So that just went out the window. And that was it. I was mad at that point. I was like, I'm not really getting anywhere. I talked to my friend Zion about this. This is kind of what helped me shift course and get back to where I needed to be at. I told Zion, like, I'm not getting anywhere on YouTube. Nobody's following me. Nobody's subscribing. That's not going anywhere. Kamikaze Cash is a failure. And then I tried to make my meme page, and that got delisted off of Facebook within an hour. I'm just feeling very frustrated. And he was like, yeah, Mikey, of course you're not getting anywhere. You're not good enough at either of those things. It's like, all right, well, thanks, dude. He said, no, you're looking at it the wrong way. All right, think about this. There is only one person out there who is the best at something. And to be in that top 1% skill of anything, you've got to be out of this world talented. I said, all right, it's fine. He said, you want to be a finance YouTuber? Well, congratulations, you're one of 10 million people. He said, you want to make a meme page? Congratulations, you're one of 100 million people. If you think you're good enough to do either of those two things on their own, you're kidding yourself. Very, very few people are, and you're not one of them. But think about this. All right, you're good at finance, you're good at stocks. Okay, that's cool. You're good at memes? All right, that's cool too. Find a way to put those two things together. Can you teach somebody finance with the use of memes? I mean, what he said made sense. I mean, am I the best stock trader? No. I think I'm pretty good, but I'm definitely not the best. Am I the best at memes either? No, of course not. Am I like God tier level Hop 91 meme lord? No, I'm not. But I think I can make some pretty dank memes. And Zion said, if I can find a way to put those two talents together, all of a sudden I have a very unique jutsu. How many people out there can teach stocks on YouTube? 1 million. How many of them can teach stocks through the use of memes and it actually be good content? Very, very few. I'm not the best at either of those two things, but you put them together, all of a sudden I'm in the 1%. I'm a top tier meme finance performer. Now, all I had to do was find an environment where people wanted to learn about stocks and they loved their memes. And at this point, I didn't know anything about Wall Street bets. This was about 7 or 8 months before I discovered it. People on YouTube that wanted to learn about finance typically weren't interested in memes because they were sophisticated. They were stock traders now. People that wanted memes had no interest in finance. Their attention span was too short. They had no interest in stocks. They just wanted their memes. It wasn't until several months later where I found Wall Street bets, and I was ready to capitalize on it because I knew I'm good at memes, I'm good at stocks, put them together, I'm unique, I have a market that's interested in it in Wall Street bets. And from there, it just took off. So my advice to you isn't to find out what you are the absolute best at. Instead, find two things that you're pretty good at. Put those two together. And now all of a sudden, you are unique. You do have something new to bring to the table that very few people are doing. If you can do that, you've just made your competition go from this big down to this big. So now you are special in that place. You can even see the same concept in American sports as well. Right, the number one highest paid athlete in that performs in the United States in 2020 was Conor McGregor. All right, is Conor McGregor good at fighting? Yeah, absolutely. Is he the absolute best? No, of course not. And I'll fight anybody who disagrees with me except for Conor McGregor. I mean, the dude broke his own leg in the first round. Like, not the best fighter. He's also not the absolute best when it comes to sponsorships and endorsements. Michael Jordan's better. There's other people out there that are retired and they're better at finding sponsorships and endorsements. But is Conor McGregor good at fighting? Absolutely. Is he good at sponsorships and endorsements? Yes. Put those two things together, and he is all of a sudden the top tier MMA sponsor endorser who's also good at fighting. People want to see what he has to say. He's built his whole character, his whole personality, and he's able to make more money than any other athlete in the United States. And once the dude drops his landmark boxing gloves, all of a sudden he's going to sell $1 million worth of them on day one. I'm not saying you got to do like Conor McGregor, but if you can find a way to make yourself unique and interesting by finding two things you're good at and put them together, now all of a sudden you're the best at that particular jutsu. So anyway, that's all for this video. I hope this helps fill the gap in what Adam had to say. I hope you guys found some use here, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.